Hi, everyone. I am Violet Ayala, the founder of FemCity, and today we're talking about all things YouTube. I'm super excited. I have our YouTube expert here with us and one of my closest friends, Dionne Dean. She is someone who I look up to when it comes to YouTube, well, creation. You also, she is just a rock star and for years, and I've asked her to teach a class for From City members starting in April. And so really what we want to talk about today is what's the big deal about YouTube? Like, why should we be learning about it? So I'm going to ask Dionne some of our most frequently asked questions. And Dionne, anything you want to add? I mean, you're a professor, you're a retail professor in your former life.
Yes.
Riley. You've been on TV many times. You've had your own show over in Texas also when it comes to fashion. Like, you have done so much in your life. Anything that I've missed that you would like to share?
Well, a lot of the things that I've gotten the chance to do has been all down to YouTube and people finding out about me at YouTube. And you mentioned that in my former life, I was a retailing and merchandising professor. I was fashion lead faculty over the fashion merchandising and retailing program at Johnson & Wales down here in North Miami. And in my final interview, I met with the president of the institution, and he actually said, I've been watching your videos and I really love what you do. I was all nervous because I'm about to meet the president of the university. He's like, I really love what you do. And I was like, I'm glad I was doing something good on the internet. People out here searching my name. But yeah, a lot of it has been due down to the work that I do on YouTube and being making myself an expert in my niche on that space.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so let's get down to it. What's the big deal about YouTube? So it works for you. That's great, but you're also like this iconic magnetic energy. So some people probably like, I don't know. But what is the big deal about YouTube?
Well, YouTube, the way how I position it is, and within this space, I know that we have a lot of speakers. We have a lot of individuals that aim to be on the big stage, and I love that for them. I love that for us. YouTube is a space where you can really get in with your community and find out what your community needs from you, number one, which will make your life and your business easier. It will make your business grow because you're going right there, right to the person. You don't have to wait until you're on the stage to get to know them and create something for them specifically. And it is your space to have your own show. As you mentioned, I've taken a student to the Tamron Hall show. So I've been to the Tamron Hall show. I've been on Dr. Oz. I was a beauty and style expert for Good Morning Texas. I've actually filmed it last year, but I was a part of Florida Unpacked, which was shot for the BBC. So now I'm across the pond in my native London. I've been on TV, but nothing has been as powerful as being on my own station, which I do consider my YouTube channel to be my own station, where I have the freedom to discuss whatever I want to discuss. And so I think if you're someone that has that burning desire to speak and you have something to say at nauseum, because YouTube is not a short form media entity. It's not a TikTok. It's not an Instagram. We do have shorts on YouTube, but it is the space where you can have those 30-minute discussions, those hour-long discussions for your audience. So for me, that's why I love YouTube, because whatever comes to my mind, I can create something and put it out there in the world for people to find and discover me and fall in love with what I do. It does take time. There's no, I see a lot of these ads on YouTube, and they promise, they make a lot of promises, but there's not a lot of information on the work that it takes in order to build a reputable channel, and a channel that is monetized, highly monetized. And I say that as well too. I think we just now are getting, not just now, over the past 5 years, Instagram or Meta has monetized Instagram and Facebook, but YouTube really is the place to make the real money as it relates to Google AdSense, because it is owned by Google. So that's where the money is for me.
Yeah. Okay. Great. All right. So, what would you say? Because I know we have some femmes in our community that like saying to themselves, "Well, I've missed the boat. It's too late. I can't get on YouTube. Everyone's already created success on there. It's too late for those that are kind of just thinking about it now." What would you say to them?
Get on there, because there's only one you. So there are so many people within the fashion and lifestyle space means nothing to me, because there's only one me, and
Yeah.
I'm the only one that has had my life experiences and has my take on certain things. And one thing about YouTube, which is a plus or a minus, depending on, to be honest, depending on your ego, you're not the only person that they're following. So,
Yeah.
to the God complex and think that you can or cannot be on there for whatever reason. I'm not on there I'm very selfish with my channel, because I do what I want to do. I definitely do keyword search and SEO search, but I'm on there to give my perspective on fashion and lifestyle. And people vibe with that. And I actually have people that'll say, "Oh my God, I love your perspective. Like, I love the things that you do." They're not saying that they don't love what other people do, but they do love my perspective.
Right.
So you have a voice, you have a perspective, and it deserves to be seen. It deserves to be heard. That's the vein that even on those days when I don't want to create, and even in those times where and of course we're taught not to compete in our minds with other people, but I really, when I look at other creatives, I'm just like, you know what, what's my perspective on that style? What's my perspective on that trend? What's my perspective? So it's never too late to give your perspective, and it's never too late to give your voice, to use your voice. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah. I often, when I'm meeting with new one-on-one clients, or even in the founders program where we do like a lot more, we're kind of connected every single day. And sometimes people will say, or women will ask me, well, there's already a coach out there. Like, I can't start this business because someone's already doing it. And I giggle, because I'm like, okay, that's like saying when you go to the bakery or when you go to your grocery store, how many things of bread are there, right? There's like maybe 200 variations
Yeah.
of bread in your local market. You got rye, pumpernickel, and then you get the gluten-free. You've got the brioche, and you've got focaccia. I mean, there's so much. So for you to say, well, I'm not going to make bread because there's already bread made. There's people like different types of bread and different variations, and you can buy multiple loaves of bread. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be one. So the
Yeah.
same analogy. Yeah, there's enough pie for everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Great. So
don't aim to be everybody's everything either. Like, when
yeah,
you're saying that there's a coach that does that, okay, well, let them do that.
yeah,
Whatever they're doing, let them do that. You need to figure out. And I think that, to be honest, YouTube is the place where you can find out what that thing is for you. Because we've had conversations of, I'll put out this and I'm thinking, this is it, honey. This is it. This is it. And they're
yeah.
like, oh, what lipstick are you wearing? And I'm like, you just made the whole 29 minutes of the video. But guess what? I'll provide that link to that lipstick, and I'll make money off of that link. Right. So, and I love what you just said about bread, because I think about how I shop, right? I go to Fresh Market for my meat. I go to Publix to get my BOGO, nothing else, just BOGO. I go to Aldi for my fruit and veg. We go to Whole Foods for their like ice creams and stuff, because it's just the best ice cream. And then Trader Joe's gets the bulk of what I spend. But I go to all of those places. So
Yeah.
when you think about you on YouTube, you just need to develop your thing, not even your niche, just
Yeah.
your thing. Right? I found out through the process of last year, just cutting off not all social media, but just making YouTube like my thing. Having, my mother's health was declining. I didn't have space to be on all these. So I was like, YouTube, that's all I'm going to do. They love to watch me shop. I do
Yeah.
a lot. I have a lot. There's a lot in this brain. I could do all of that. It won't be successful because they just want to watch me shop. They love it. So I'm just doing that. But it's a part of who I am, part of my brand. But just that's the thing, is figuring out what they want from you.
Yeah, I love that. So another question that I'm sure femmes will ask is, can anyone create successful content on YouTube? I think you already kind of addressed it, honestly. I think you've already addressed it. Like, of course you can. Everyone's got their own niche. Everyone's got their own following. Do what makes you happy, brings you joy, but you can also back it up with your keyword searches and looking to see what people are looking for and how you can fit in with your own perspective and your originality into that conversation. So I think you've already addressed it, but maybe is there something else you want to add to that?
What's the question? Can they create engaging content?
Can anyone create successful content? Because I know I hear a lot from our members. They're like, oh, I tried on YouTube and I just don't think I'm good for successful content. Like, I hear that, but I feel like anyone can really create content that creates conversation and community. I believe that.
Yes. I think with YouTube, and I don't know why we do this to you. I think we do it to all social media platforms, is we look to views as a form of success. And you know
Yeah.
how I feel about metrics. Valid vanity metrics does nothing for my pocketbook. I ain't got time for it now. Um YouTube is the long game. It's not the short game. So if you're on there for 3 months and you feel like you're not getting the success that you want, then the thing is not to stop. The thing is to put in another 3 months. The thing is to continue to do the keyword search, to continue to see to find out what the match is. What is that thing that they want from you? It's really trial and error. And so for people that are interested in getting into YouTube, you need to know that it's not like I'm going to post one day and get to 1,000 subscribers. Number one, for those of us that were in the dating world, you didn't date a dude the first, well, maybe some of us back in my day, you didn't TMI, but you didn't just go out with the guy the first day. You didn't just go out there with the guy the first day and you're like, oh my God, you're everything that no, sir, let's date. I need to know if I like you. I need to know who you on paper, all this stuff you saying that sounds good. Let me see 6 months to a year from now, if you really doing the things that you say you're doing. Okay. Not know, oh, you did a video and everybody's supposed to fall in love with you. No, that doesn't even happen in real life. So if you're in it, for 3 months, 6 months, and you will see traction, because the way the YouTube algorithm works is once they put you out there, when people see, and we're going to talk about this in April in the course, when people see your channel art, are they attracted to that channel art? Are they attracted to the first 30 seconds of the video that actually plays when people hover over your picture? Once that goes out and people start interacting, I can tell you right now, if you go to my channel, there are a few videos the video I put up last night, it got 2,200 views overnight. Mine usually get like 1,000, like 700 to 1,000. Whatever I said in the first 30 seconds got them, because YouTube just shot it off. And it's been doing a lot of that to my videos. So what am I going to do? I'm going to continue doing those videos and gaining that traction. So it takes time, guys. Nothing on social media is fast and easy. And if it is, you don't want it. Because people who are viral very, very rarely do this viral content give you the results that you are looking for.
Yeah, and I think you made an interesting point at the beginning that you made that I want to highlight, is that in areas of your life, your YouTube channel has served as a supplemental or a way for people to see your reputation, to see how you up. They use that as almost a prerequisite to reach out for an opportunity for you. Like you mentioned the channel, the BBC show, and also Houston, and then the Johnson Wales. Oh, I lost you. Oh, there you are.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's my Wi-Fi. Yeah. But you had mentioned a couple of times that people have like kind of used your YouTube channel as a reference point before offering you opportunities. And so I think even like before we think about the analytics and the virality of like, is it going to go viral? Am I going to become famous and all that stuff? The reality at the end of the day is it serves as a supplemental area for people to kind of look to see before they reach out and offer you an opportunity. I know last year I got a gig. It was a $10,000 gig with a pharmaceutical company, or I'm sure an insurance company, that they saw me on Instagram. And they were like, they pitched me to the client. The client really, before I even knew, and then they reached out and they're like, "Hey, we have this opportunity for you," and it turned out to be a $10,000 gig.
Yep.
So I think that when you look at it from that perspective, it doesn't matter if it's 1 million views or it really is. It's a place for people to go and see, like, really, if they jive with you, if your vibe is a good fit for them before they hire you as a coach or buy your book or hire you for a $10,000 gig. I mean, all those things play into, or like you were saying, Johnson Wales or your BBC channel. I mean, you hooked them before you met them. They already fell in love with you because they watched so much of your videos.
The producer, when they reached out to me for the show on the BBC, this was before they even knew I was British. This was before they knew that I had any connection to London, any connections that I was even a fan of Alison Hammond. the producer found me through watching YouTube. She was Googling, shopping in South Florida. And it was so God, because last year with everything happening with my mom, I said, okay, God, I can't do everything. So I'm just going to do one thing that I know to do, and that's shop in South Florida. So all I did last year was just think of myself as a tourist, and if I was a tourist, where would I want to shop, and what would I want to see? And that's all I did for last year. And that's the content that the producers from the BBC found, fell in love with. And she actually told me she watched one video and then watched another one, and she was just so hooked. And it was after that she pitched me to, because Florida Unpacked, it was Allison going through Florida and just showing the best of South Florida. And it was maybe three emails or 3 calls back and forth on WhatsApp that she told me what the project was. And I was floored. I was like, oh my gosh, so I'm British. And she was like, what? And I was like, and I love Allison Hammond. And she's like, oh my God, this is perfect. And it just all fit so seamlessly, right? And so, how many, and not to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot my own horn. I don't have the largest channel, but I'm now featured on the BBC. You know what I mean? Like, that is my, sometimes I'm, how did that happen? But it happened from me just being consistent on one thing. I didn't do the power of YouTube. Yeah, and the power of YouTube. I just did one thing. I just did my thing that people loved, and I just went really deep with it, because that's all I could do last year. That was what last year. Yeah.
I love that. All right. So we ran out of time. I was going to ask you more, but I'll save those questions for next week. So for those of you who are interested in learning more about YouTube, Dionne and I have teamed up. We're going to teach a class in April. It's going to walk you through everything about YouTube, creating the foundation. So before you jump in and you start creating all the content and all that stuff, we really felt like it's important for you to get a really good foundation going. Your cover art, your bio, the words that you're using, the niche that you're going to go for, even just kind of getting started in what kind of content you want to create. So that's going to be level 1 of the program. So it starts in April, and we'll meet twice a week. The first day of the week, I think it's Monday, we will go through curriculum. We, meaning Dionne, because I don't know anything about this. I'm just going to be in the classroom with her. So Mondays is going to be curriculum, pure, literally education classes. And then we're going to do the second day, Wednesday, all about sharing where you're at, kind of roundtable, noodling on things together. So you have really good support throughout the 4 weeks program together. So Dionne, thank you so much. We'll be back next week with more reasons why YouTube might be a good fit for you. Anything you want to add, Dionne, before we head out?
I want you guys to do some homework for those of you who are watching, whether you're watching now or the replay. I want you to go to YouTube, go to your favorite person or people that you watch on YouTube, or go to your niche. And I want you to watch some videos, and I want you to take note of the people that hold your attention, and what is it about them or their channel or their setup? What is it about them that keep you watching? Because that's what you want. It's not just for them to just view it, because views could really be, they just click on it and they go away, right? But take note of those people who are doing the things that are keeping you on that channel, and start writing them down, because that's what you really want to go to. You want people to watch and to stay and to be entertained or educated, whatever your vein is. But that's going to be your homework.
I love that. I love that. All right. And to learn more about Dionne Dean, you can go to dionnedean.com, right? Is that that's the website, right?
Yes.
I'm like, I should know it. I've only known you for 500 years. So yeah, dionnedean.com. And if you have any questions for us, please, if you're watching this through our email, reply all, or you can message. I think all of you will have my email anyway. So, all right. Happy YouTube.
Bye.